let the battle of the Secretaries begin. So let's check this out. Let's get a judge who will be more fair. Back when I was but a lone slime, I removed Tempest, fought the Kingdom of Falmouth to receive my allies, and evolved into a demon lord. Beginning with Shion, all my friends were revived one after another, and thanks to an evolved Raphael, I was even able to free Valdor from his seals, so I broke even and I was back to the same head count again. Or at least that was the plan, but for some reason I ended up with one extra. Everyone, I'm sure you already know who this is, but let me introduce you again. This is Diablo, the one who saved me from the claws of certain death. He's new, but he's really strong and dependable, so I plan to put him to work as a second secretary. I'd like you all to treat him well. I would deeply appreciate your guidance and encouragement. I'd like you to teach him the ropes for me, Shion. This polished-looking fella who looks every part of the stereotypical butler is Diablo. I summoned him in the spur of the moment with the summon demon skill, but he's clearly not your everyday demon. I tried giving him a name because he insisted on joining our group, but the results were startling. In terms of sheer magical volume and combat strength, I don't think Shion holds a candle to him. I still made Shion my first secretary, since secretarial work doesn't exactly require combat strength, but then again. Second secretary, I challenge you to a duel. This is the perfect time for us to settle who's more fit to be Great Rumu's side once and for all. Well, I suppose I can't say no to that. As the leading representative of the most respected characters, I'll gladly judge your hospitality. This took place after the party commemorating everyone's revival, and the meeting to discuss our future plans ended, and immediately after King Gazelle and Errol went home. Well, I don't mind if that's what you want. Wait, time mine. What do you mean this is the perfect time? Didn't we just finish discussing how we have our work cut out for us between Walpurgis and Clayman and Maleem acting funny? Well, the thing is, I had an embarrassing day as senior secretary today, so I feel like this was a good time for me to show the second secretary exactly what this job is all about. Was really stumbling over her words today, wasn't she? Like calling Kin Edomalis Edenite. And I still don't understand why she suddenly bloated out the capital of Japan when she doesn't know anything about it. She even called Razin ramen. Then she started talking about budget meals in Japan and how she was making verbal blunders left, right, and center. Diablo may have a tendency to get overly passionate, but he definitely puts his pedigree as a competent butler on display. I get it, Shion must be getting anxious to set the record straight. Sure, I may have been second in receiving my title as secretary, but I absolutely don't believe that I'm second in my ability. Well, isn't that humble of you? Are you suggesting that you are third or below? What was that? Is that right? So that's how you see it. Ha ha ha. Isn't that level of obliviousness quite troublesome in its own way? Point taken. Very well. I'll let it slide this time, since it's another from you. By the way, Shion, you said you wanted to challenge me, but how are you planning to determine who's more fit to serve Great Rumu's side? Didn't we just discuss not brawling in places like this when I spoke with you about Hinata? You're the one who brought this whole thing up. Why are you asking me? For the sake of fairness, how about consulting a specialist for an outside opinion? You mean the professional secretary? Where would we find one? Your tea is ready, Lady Remus. Isn't she the perfect model of any secretary or butler? Beretta, sure, I guess you could technically consider her a specialist, but... Oh. In that case... Excuse me. Beretta, I want you to give me an honest answer between me and Diablo. Who's the better secretary? There's no need to be considerate now. Please give your candid opinion now. Which is it? That's right. Beretta used to be a demon, and she doesn't. That give Diablo an advantage. That's right. Second secretary, you have blackmailed material on Beretta, don't you? How could that be fair? How rude, though. I suppose we could find a fairer method. This guy was ready to pick his own judges if I didn't intervene. He's a clever one, alright. Let's get a judge who will be more fair. Well, I suppose I can't say no to that. As the leading representative of the most respected characters, I'll gladly judge your hospitality. More like the leading representative of characters nobody asked for. Who are you talking to? For starters, you there, you, the Dark Demon, you are disqualified. In fact, you get the death penalty. Excuse me? Did you forget you picked me up by the scruff of the neck? You fail as a butler for that kind of insolence. That's just a personal grudge. Not only is it totally unfair, but you even had the audacity to casually slip in a death sentence. I agree. As such, I'd like to request a different judge, someone with more common sense. You are talking to someone who's the living embodiment of common sense. Wouldn't pronounce a death sentence out of the blue, sorry, but I don't think you fit the bill. How about Shuna? She's a specialist in the sense that she waits on people individually, and she has common sense. It's very likely that Princess Shuna has kept close tabs on my work performance, so she's the perfect person to judge me. I forgot, I guess that's unfair in its own way. Don't you think the one most suited to be Great Remoose aid is me, of course? I was worried for nothing. Will you listen to the conversation? It looks like Princess Shuna can't decide who's better. There's me more than meets the eye with this secretary business. How about we go back to square one and settle this like margin with a contest of strength? Have you forgotten that we have explicit orders against engaging in battle? How about sumo then? Now that's a pure contest of strength. Aren't you a secretary? Is it more important to have social etiquette and common sense? Besides, the two of you have a bad habit of losing control of your emotions when you are extremely passionate about something. I should think that a certain degree of cultivation would be a prerequisite for any secretary, which is why I'm better. Then say no more. Allow me, your humble servant Vesta, to evaluate how cultivated the two of you are. Where did you come from? You didn't say anything. I heard everything. God damn. As the instructor of social etiquette at the reception hall, I felt this was my calling. That's true, since you were the minister of jargon. I presume you had butlers in tow, and you are definitely versed in social etiquette. Shion's going to have a hissy fit at this rate, so go ahead and slap them with your personal assignment. Just so you know, I'm not having a fit, okay? I'm just teaching my new coworker the ropes of being a secretary. And how will you be testing us? I will be evaluating you on your most frequently performed task for any secretary, managing the schedule. Is the Master of Tempest, his duties require his schedule to be Coordinated down to the minute. Oh, no, the second. That's not right, Actually, I'd prefer if it won't squeeze so tight. Every second that doesn't go according to schedule adds up, and that can eventually have disastrous consequences due to lack of sleep. I was 0.4 seconds off the heating time from some chemicals last night, which produced a margin of error in my experiment results. Forget my time. I'm more worried about you getting enough sleep. Fortunately, I always have this high position wristwatch on hand that Kaijin designed for me. Now I'd like the two of you to count out 10 seconds without a clock, usually using only your internal clocks. Oh, I know this. It's the game you always find yourself playing when you have a stopwatch. Then I'd like you to raise your hand when you think 10 seconds have passed. Whoever gets closer to 10 seconds on the dot wins. Of course not. Managing great moves schedule down to the second means getting to be by his side at all times. Just the thought of it, or enough to make me boast with review. That's scary as hell. Are you ready? Let's go. Now. That was ridiculously fast. Your excitement blowing you there. Now. I guess Shion wins that. Got baited. Were the two of you ever even listening to the rules? Clocks in at 0.3 seconds and Shion at 3.7 seconds. Both of you are far too impatient. But I was closer to 10 seconds, wasn't I? Which means I win, right? No, it can't be. I was sure I felt 10 seconds pass. Time just seems to pass so quickly, perhaps because I've lived for too long. Well, I guess I can understand that. It's that thing where every year seems to pass by faster as you get older, right? How old are you anyways? A win is a win. See, I told you I'm more suited. Well, actually, you may have won in school, Shion, but I don't believe you could have lost that. If that's all it took to be a secretary, then anyone could be it. Let's move on to the second round. Next, I'll be assessing your level of etiquette. For example, let's say someone from Tempest made a blunder that embarrassed a foreign embassy. I would like the two of you to demonstrate the manners you would employ when delivering a gift box of confectionery to smooth things over. That's unfortunate. Extracting an apology out of someone is much easier. I get the feeling that the two of you haven't ever had to do much apologizing. Well, I want you both to take this opportunity to learn. I'll play the part of the foreign emissary. Here you can pretend this box is filled with confectionery and bring it over to my guest room, okay? How did she already have that prepared? What kind of confectionery should I assume is in the box? I'll leave that to your imagination. There are cream puffs in the box. It's not a fake. It's just a box, so please use it however you like. Crime. The box is a trap. Shuna, what a terrifying goal. You said the guest room, right? Does that mean it's a Japanese style room or pick me, I'll go first? Also from the homeland of Ogres, so she's probably privy to Japanese room etiquette. Wouldn't that give her too much of an advantage? Could you bring me that box? You'll let everything slide with this, won't you? You're disqualified. Wait, why? Whoa, how did everything get so all squashed up inside? Hey, I thought the box was supposed to be empty. because that wasn't a gift but an imposition of snacks, and you fell right for the trap to boot. I find it hard to believe we grew up in the same hometown. Who raised you? My upbringing being brought into question. Although I'm guessing you planted that trap in the first place because you know her so well after growing up in the same town. That's so mean. I was only doing my part to make sure you had an even playing field. I'm next, aren't I? Please pardon me. I'd like to express my gratitude to you for setting aside the time to meet with me today. What business do you have with me today? The reason I'm here today is to make amends. That was perfect. You walked quietly, without stepping on the edges of the tatama mat, and your manner of addressing the emissary was the very picture of perfection. I think this would follow no common etiquette, much less requirements of a secretary. Yes, I suppose that's technically correct. Realistically speaking, it's more like a landslide win for Diablo, though. Then again, I guess Diablo had the advantage going second since he knew the box was in the prop. So we should have one more round. Suppose you're right, fair is fair. These two are impossible to rein in once they get excited about something. Someone please just give them a good idea. Winner takes all, right? How about making the bed? That's a wonderful idea. Let's say that the one who can make the bed that's most comfortable for Great Umu to relax in is the winner. Rather than me, you're the one I want to get some sleep, Vesta. Nowhere a bed for Great Umu to relax in. How could you propose such an impossible task, Princess Shuna? Huh? What's got the two of you in such a dizzy? But that means Great Umu will be personally. It's supposed to be for Great Umu to relax in, but he already has a gooey, soft slime body. For a bed to be softer than Great Umu, if such a bed even exists, we are talking furniture of divine quality. I guess that means we are tied in one importance each. I'll admit it, Diablo, you are one heck of a newcomer. No, I have learned a great deal myself, having had the chance to see the depths of your experience as a butler. I admire you. Things pan out somehow cool, and then let's call it a day. Are you sure? I'm satisfied that Shion and Diablo are getting along. Now I know I'd rather than chaperoning this absurd test of common sense. Yes, so I think I'll take you up on that and get a full night's rest. I'm a little disappointed in Great Umu. I hope to learn about the art of bed making. I don't think you need to worry about that. I mean, your master seems quite comfortable sleeping on top of the desk. Anyhow, that's the story of the battle no one cares about, which took place before all the important final battle. I don't know if Shion and Diablo just gained some confidence in learning about their respective strengths, but they stopped talking about contests after that, so I'm content to just call it a tie. The only thing Shion really had going for her was that her perception of time was more normal than Diablo's. Those hotheads need to work on giving me a little more leeway. Otherwise, that means more work for me. In other news, I made sure Vesta got a good night's rest in a bed made by Shuna after all the hard work he puts in. I need him to get more sleep above ground every once in a while. Haven't been in consecutive meetings between Walpurgis and everything else, I will say that seeing them squabble was a nice distraction. Shion's going to be accompanying me to Walpurgis, and I'll be tasking Diablo with the reconstruction of Falmouth. But don't they know? The only reason I'm able to entrust them with such key roles is because I already consider the two of them to be my irreplaceable aides. But I can easily see them both get going into an excited frenzy if I were to tell them that, so these lips are sealed. Shion, Diablo, I'm counting on you both to keep up the good work. Well then, thank you all for watching.